Here we have gathered together some piles of different materials. Some are tough and will add air, like these wood chips and sawdust. Others are soft and full of water, like these grass cuttings and kitchen peelings. Be mindful of your materials and always think in terms of adding air or water. Mixing the materials together is best, but in practice layering is often easier. Try and mix up the different materials as much as possible, especially the tough dry materials with the soft wet materials. You are creating the ideal environment for all the microbes, especially bacteria, fungi, and then all the mini beasts which will come to your heap. Because I had a lot of tough woody chips in this heap, I'm making sure to add plenty of water, and I've been tamping the heap down as well as I go. Next, I'm going to remove the compost bin to show the contents, and you can see the layering quite clearly there. Composting is all about getting the balance between air and water and being mindful of your materials. Now I've put the bin back and take the temperature with my probe thermometer, which is 20 degrees Celsius today, April the 7th. Much hotter today. Let's see what the temperature's like on the thermometer. Wow, well, that's interesting. It's gone up from 20 to just under 30 in 24 hours. Good stuff. Okay, so that's the temperature, ambient temperature in the shade today, just above 20 degrees. So significantly hotter in the compost. So it's 48 hours since we built the heap. Let's see what the temperature is today. Wow. Blimey. 50 degrees Celsius. It's been very hot, but cold at night. It's a small bin. And the ambient temperature I took earlier was about 22. But that's pretty impressive. 50 degrees. Wow. And it's, as you can see, it's over 60, what's that, 62, 63 degrees Celsius. That's pretty hot. Let's see if we can get this Dalek bin to melt down. Come back tomorrow. 96 hours since we put the heap together. I've just put the thermometer in. It was 60 yesterday. So it's dropping a bit. It's only just on 55 today. So it's already starting to drop a bit. You can see it's gone, the level has dropped down. So it's dropped down, can you see that? Dropped down that hand span, dropped down that much. The outside temperature is 20 degrees today. So it's a bit cooler. It was really hot yesterday. Okay, so I just thought, it seems it's pulled away from the sides quite a lot. Maybe we'll have a look at how it's doing inside, if I can lift it up, okay? It's a bit too difficult to get it. There we are. Whoa. It's because of that bit in the bottom. Well, I'll put it back together again. You can see where the air's got in round the door. I don't like these doors here. We'll have another look tomorrow. So it's day 6 and the compost has been cooking for 120 hours now. It was at 55 yesterday. Let's see what it is today. So it is, can you see that? It's dropped a tiny bit, so it's about 54 degrees Celsius. So it's cooking away nicely. So it's a week since we built this bin, and let's look at the temperature today. Yesterday it was, what was it, 55? Yep, today it's only 45, so it's definitely dropping down quite a bit. But can you see that all right? 45. But look at the way, look how much it's dropped down. So it's dropped down, what's that, 9 inches or something in a week, and it's pulled away from the side. Shall I pull it away again to have a look at that? Put it up again. Starting to darken down, isn't it?
Yeah.
Starting to change, apart from around the door where it's useless door. Right, put that back again.
So you've made a wonderful mixture of compost in the cone. How long is it going to take to rot down?
Well, we're going to have to wait to see, aren't we? But it heated up very quickly, didn't it? It went from 20 degrees, which was the ambient temperature on the first day, then it went 30, then it went up to 50, and then nearly 60, very quickly in a few days. And then it started to drop down again, went down to 55, 50, and now it's dropping down again a week and a bit later. So that first phase of composting is when the bacteria are doubling every hour, and that's why it gets so hot, because you get that doubling every hour. And so that means that one bacterial colony can get up to over 8 million in 24 hours. So that's an incredible explosion of life. As long as there's enough air and there's enough water for the biology to happen, for the bugs to multiply, then you get that bacterial explosion. And then what happens is that the secondary composters start to move in. You get the other things coming in, and lots of other organisms that are attracted to the heap. So you get the fungi coming in, and they're a lot slower. You get the shredders, the creatures that are shredding things up, and all the other creatures that get in. In fact, you get every single kingdom of life involved in the compost heap. And that takes a long while then to mature, especially to work on the harder, woody stuff. That can take months and months and months. So we're just going to have to be patient and leave it, which is why we're always thinking like 6 months to a year ahead of what we're doing.
And who's in a hurry anyway?
No, exactly. Exactly.
And what will we use the compost for? What's it best for?
We use it. It's garden compost, so it's got had a little tiny bit of kitchen stuff in it mixed in, but it was just a few peelings and things just put in there. But this will be used on the beds just to top dress our beds mainly, and because we have a no-dig system, those chunky woody chips, which still won't be broken down even after a year, some of them are very big chunky bits, they will become a nice mulch on the bed. And if we're bothered about them, we can rake off some of the bigger bits and put it back in. It's not a problem.
And so you put in just a small amount of kitchen peelings on that. With that amount, it's not really a rat problem then.
No.
It would be if you put in more.
Yeah, exactly. If we had a lot of food waste, and especially if we've got things like potato peelings, carrot peelings, if we got any cooked food, that's what really attracts the rats. A little tiny bit in there is not going to be a problem with it. I'm sure it won't within that, because it heated up very quickly. You know, it's not going to be a problem. It's when you add things every day. Because the other way of making compost, of course, is to add a little bit at a time, and that's when you start to get problems. You know, so our other heap that we've got, we are adding things a little bit at a time, but we've got a special rat-proof bin for that one. So this is why we're just demonstrating to get the biology right, to get the mixture between air and water, to show that rapid expansion, that rapid heat rise that happens, and to show that first bit of the composting, because a lot of people want to know, how do you get a hot heap? Well, you have to do it like that in one go and make sure you've got the balance of air and water, and that's crucial to keep it going. And then when that's starting to slow down, that's when then the worms move in as well, and the worms will take months and months and months to finish it off.
Will you keep adding to it as it sinks down?
We could do, but I'm just going to leave that one to finish now. I'm just going to leave it. But we could keep adding to it. And actually, I mean, if we were going to do that, it would have been better to do it when it was hotter and keep it cooking more and more. Now it's cooling down. We could reinvigorate it and get it going, but just going to do this one now as a bit of an experiment and as a demonstration to see what happens without adding to it.
And what about roots like couch and bindweed roots? Will that heat kill things like that and the seeds?
Well, it's all a matter of proportion. I mean, if we had a little bit of bindweed in there and it was hot, when it was hot, getting up to 60 degrees, that would have cooked it.
Yeah.
You know. But if we got a lot of bindweed, a lot of cooch, and especially if it's got a lot of earth with it, the earth will insulate it against the heat. It's better to take those out, and we've got another container where we're just putting the roots and excluding the light from it. And that again, I'm going to leave that for about a year.
Yeah. And quite often we put the roots out on the path to dry out if it's sunny, don't we?
Yeah.
So they dry out and hopefully are dead before we compost them anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Very exciting.
That's all right. Now you've got a cat on your lap. You can't turn the.
Can't move.
Can't move. So you just sit here till the cat's bored.